Meet Chancla by Heather Hayes, everybody's favorite Tier 19 reference. On the outside, it's fifth, it's vibrant, and it's mesmerizing to look at and to listen to. On the inside, however, it's shady and claustrophobic, with gameplay that is constantly closing in on itself. To me, this juxtaposition is a euphemism of the possibilities of what life will have in store for me in the next few decades. The soothing colors of dark shades and the brisk movement of the surroundings, matched with its painfully tight-knit and precise gameplay design, it won't fool me at all. In a way, it's the same with life. When you're older and when you have a job, maybe one day your boss fires you, and maybe, just maybe, that leads you to a depressive episode. Does your boss care? It's the same idea. On the inside, your mind could be all gloomy, your mind could be all claustrophobic, and full of narrow spaces with little elbow room to crawl around in. But to most people on this planet, nobody's going to see any of that. Not unless those people really stick by your side, or try to use that against you. What most people see first from you is your outside. The way you look, the way you speak, the way you act. You can present yourself to the world in a way that is audiovisually pleasing, and it will be all yours. That's not to say that what's on the inside doesn't matter, of course, but when you're feeling gloomy or when you're in trouble, or, well, for me at least, I gotta be prepared to be ignored and dismissed by the rest of the world. Chancla is a level that I've more recently come to appreciate more, not just as a fantastic level, but also as a reminder for me of the importance of self-sustainability as an individual on this planet where most people care only about themselves. And yeah, I know, it may sound like such a cynical view, but it's mine, and I'd like to keep it that way. This level serves as a reminder to me that no matter how shady, no matter how hollow my insides are, no matter how my mind is, my thoughts are, whatever all my worries, whatever all my pain, whatever all my struggles are, I have to be able to support myself. I can't rely on somebody else to constantly be there for me. And I think Chancla represents that quite well, in the sense that it possesses this sharp contrast between its gameplay that requires such an eerily careful amount of maneuverability. Meanwhile, every other aspect of the level is smooth sailing and breezy. You may argue that this can be said about basically any level that may look visually gorgeous but plays like bashing your head against the wall, where the beauty of its visuals obstruct the barely playtested awful gameplay, which are a lot of levels. But none of them, not to me at least, of all the levels I have seen in my current lifespan, none of them have that natural atmospheric effect that radiates from Chancla. In the sense that the vibe it gives off as a whole level is relaxing on a wooden chair in front of the beach, right in front of your medium-sized house in the early 2010s while drinking a glass of water. At the same time, I'm lacing it with clonazepam to cope with the hustle and bustle of our hectic and chaotic lives. I see the whole aspect of that relaxation as a temporary escape from everything that is happening right now. And Chancla is a shining personal example of that dichotomy. And it's different with levels like El Dorado or Acropolis. For me, El Dorado is it just doesn't take itself as seriously as Chancla does. Because I think El Dorado is just all around silly. In all honesty, it treats itself like a joke, even if it doesn't intend to. And it doesn't give off as strong as a vibe as Chancla does, even if its gameplay is considerably even more dysfunctional and, to a personal extent, goofy. Acropolis, on the other hand, is just claustrophobic. For me, Acropolis just gives off the feeling that the walls in your house are slowly closing in on you, and you are unable to escape. And yes, it is true, you can't escape from the violence and the noise of this world. But the song honestly doesn't give Acropolis enough justice to convey that message. Even if it was never really meant to, I don't really have any other unnecessarily deep interpretation of what Acropolis tries to accomplish as a level, and that's something that I say I enjoy doing. But at the end of the day, all of this is just my interpretation of what Chancla is and tries to be as a level. Even if none of these things were meant to be conveyed by Heather in their level in the first place, I like to think that this is just even more reason for me to appreciate their level even more.